It's time for the Unit 2, Lesson 2 homework with, of course, me, Miss Billman. This time we're looking at triangles. Now, when we're looking for an unknown side length, it's going back to the actual equation for finding the area and then filling in some holes. So when I have a rectangle, not a triangle, but a rectangle, if I fill everything in on the inside, that's the area of the rectangle, right? And that's length times width. We might say base times height. You probably heard length times width more often, but we're going to be looking at base times height for a triangle. You might hear length times height too. Either way, we're making it work. So when we have a rectangle and we cut it on the diagonal directly in half, now I have two triangles, right? So I have my height and I have my length. Well, that height is going to be part of our equation for our base times our height. So we know to find the area of a rectangle, we're going to multiply length and width, length and height. But when we do a triangle, we're going to take that number, that product that we got by multiplying, and cut it in half. Because triangles are friends with quadrilaterals. They're best friends. They are exactly half of the area of a quadrilateral. So let's look at this again. Cut on the diagonal, and one side is 3 and one side is 12. Now, if I'm looking for the entire thing of that quadrilateral, I would multiply 3 and 12 together to get 36. Now, I'm only looking for half. I know my picture might not be to scale, but I'm looking for half. I'm looking for that triangle. I would divide it by 2 and get 18, and if I did inches, centimeters, feet, meters, millimeters, any of that, I would still square it. But I have to make sure to do it in half. So if we go back to the homework, and we're looking at number 1, my height is not there. It's still h. So remember, it's base multiplied by height divided by 2. So 4 multiplied by something equals 12 inches. Now I'm thinking, okay, 4 multiply, well, wait a second. That's for the triangle. I actually have to double it. 4 multiplied by something gives me 24. 4 multiplied by 6 gives me 24. Remember, if I was really looking for the total area, it would be 24. The area of the triangle is half. So really, I'm looking for the number that would double it. I always like to draw in what would be like a related triangle, related rectangle. So I'm looking at a quadrilateral as a whole. So 10 multiplied by something divided by 2 then gives me 50. So 10 multiplied by something gives me 100, right? So it's 10. 10 multiplied by 10 is 100. If I divide that by 2, I get 50 centimeters squared. And I'm going back and adding in the measurements, and you see on number 1, it should be inches. 10 multiplied by something gives me, if it's 10, I need 20. So 10 multiplied by, if I did 2, I would have 10 multiplied by 2 is 20. Divide that by 2 would be 10 meters. And I go back and fix it. Attending to precision, very important. A diagonal divides a square patch of garden that is 2 feet on one side. What is the area on either side of the diagonal? So on either side, so over here or over here. And I'm a visual person, so I like to either color it in, make a drawing, which is model, or I could always get a whiteboard and do it on there. So base multiplied by height divided by 2 is going to be for one side. That is the formula for one triangle, a right triangle, right? I mean, that's what we're talking about here. So 2 multiplied by 2 is 4 for the whole. And 4 multiplied by 2 is 2. 2 feet squared for one side. Because the 2 feet plus the 2 feet will give me 4 feet. A banner in the gym is in the shape of a right triangle. It has a height of 4 feet and a base of 9 feet. What is the area of the banner? Remember, base multiplied by height divided by 2. So I find my product first, and then I cut it in half. 9 multiplied by 4, or 4 multiplied by 9, is 36. 36 divided by 2 is 18. So for one triangle, that is that right triangle, it is 18 feet squared for the feet, or for the area. A quilt is made up of 8 right triangles. Each triangle has a 6-inch base and a 6-inch height. How much fabric is needed to cover the back of the quilt block? So when I'm looking at these right triangles, I also see that while there are 8 right triangles, there are also 4 squares. So what I can do is multiply 6 and 6 to get 36. So each square as a whole is 36 inches squared. To find the area of the entire thing, I would multiply 36 by 4 because there's 4 squares. 36 multiplied by 4, and I could find it that way. Or what I can do is do the area of one triangle. So it's 18, and I could take 18 and multiply by, that's right, 8. And I would get 8 multiplied by 8 is 64, and I get an answer of 144. So either way, it's a good chance and a good opportunity for me to check my work. Jeremy bought a piece of fabric that has an area of 1,296 inches squared. He cut it in half diagonally to make 2 equal triangles. One of the triangles has a height of 24 inches. How long is the base? So I'm going to draw this in. There are 2 triangles. There's a height of 24, and I know 24 multiplied by something is equal to 1,296. So now I'm going to divide. Anytime I'm looking for to fill a variable, I need to do the opposite. Opposite of multiplication is division. So 24 goes into 129. Well, I think of like quarters. 5 quarters would be like about 125. So 120. I subtract it. 96. It's probably going to be 4. And 96 minus 96 is 0. So my answer of 54 inches. Take your time, make a model, and you can do it.